All right, we are continuing our work with proportions. So we're looking at graphs and determining which are proportional. Okay, again, there's two things that need to happen in order for a graph to be proportional. It has to be a straight line, and it has to go through the origin, 0, 0. So this one is a straight line going through 0, 0, so that works. This one is a straight line, but it does not go through 0, 0, so it doesn't work, so it's just the first one. Good. The next one says plot the ordered pairs. So I have to take these ordered pairs and plot them, graph them. So 1 hour, hours are on the bottom, and cost is going up and down. So 1 hour is $4. So I have to move the point 1 hour, $4. 5 hours is $10. 5 hours is 10. And then 12 hours is $15. 12 hours goes up to 15. Oh. Right there. Make sure those are in the right place. It says, is the cost of parking proportional to the number of hours parked? So if I drew a line through these, would it be a straight line going through 0, 0? Well, I don't even think it's going to quite be a straight line. And it's not going to go through 0, 0. So is it proportional? I would say no, it's not proportional. Remember, it has to be a straight line. It has to go through the origin in order for it to be proportional. This is not a straight line. It goes through the origin, but it's curved, so it's not that one. This is a straight line through the origin. That works. An employee earns an hourly wage shown in the graph below. Find the hourly wage. So looking at this graph, we can see 1 hour gets $40. So the hourly wage is just $40 an hour. All right, which statements about the graph are true? It says the vertical coordinate of point A represents a total cost of a 20 kilometer taxi ride. So if we follow 20, brings us to A, that would be the total cost, as it says, for a 20-kilometer taxi ride. That's exactly what the point shows us, the cost for going that far. The total cost of a 4-kilometer taxi ride is $1.60. So if we go down to 4, is that $1.60? It looks like it could be, but this is where we would want to write a proportion. Okay, we know that our labels are kilometers and cost. So we know that 20 kilometers is going to be $8. We're trying to figure out if 4 kilometers is $1.60. So we plug in 4 for kilometers, question mark on the cost, and figure out what the question mark is. So we cross multiply. 8 times 4 is 32, and then we divide by 20 is going to be 16 over 10, reduces to 16 over 10, which 16 divided by 10 is 1.60. So yes, it is $1.60 for 4 kilometers, so it would be both of those things. Okay. All right, again on this one, we need to figure out which of these statements are true from this graph. So the point 0, 0 shows that it takes 0 hours to braid a necklace that is 0 centimeters long. That's true. That's the origin. The point 224, which is the dot on the graph, 224 shows that it takes 2 hours. Hours is on the bottom, 2 hours, so that's correct, to braid a necklace that is 24 centimeters long. This is centimeters. That's exactly what that point shows us. 2 hours, 24 centimeters. So it would be both of those are true. The vertical coordinate of A, which would be this one, which is total cost, represents the total cost of 8 phone calls. Okay, no, it represents the total cost of $2 for 8 minutes. So it would not be the first one. The total cost of a 1-minute phone call is 30 cents. So if we go over to 1, is it 30 cents? Again, we have to set up a proportion. We have minutes and we have total cost, or money. We know that 8 minutes is $2. So we're trying to figure out what 1 minute would be. Put 1 on the top because that's where minutes are. Question mark on the bottom. Cross multiply, divide. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 divided by 8 is 1/4, which would be 0.25. So is it 30 cents for 1 minute? No, it's actually 25 cents. So it would not be that one, and it would not be that one. It'd be none of these. All right, on this link we need to write the equation that represents the proportional relationship. So we have a graph, cups of flour, number of eggs. We have to write an equation that shows a relationship between the cups of flour, F, and the eggs, E. Okay? So one of the easiest, most straightforward ways to solve these problems is just set up a proportion. Cross multiply, divide. We get our unit rate. We can plug that into our equation. Okay, and we've been doing this a long time, setting up our proportions. So we have 2 labels. We have flour, use F. We have E for eggs. And we can take right from the table that 3 cups of flour requires 2 eggs. Now we're trying to find the unit rate, so we want to know how many cups of flour for 1 egg. And then to solve that, we cross multiply, divide. 3 times 1 is 3, then divide by 2, which turns out to be 3/2, or we can do 1.5. Either one will work. And then our equation, to figure out what letter comes first in our equation, it's either going to be F equals something or E equals something. Whichever label has the question mark in it is the letter that comes first. Because we're trying to figure out how many cups of flour, so our equation has to equal F for flour. Okay, so we would do F equals, and then our unit rate, which we'll do 1.5, and then E for the number of eggs. So what that means is for every egg, or for however many eggs you use, you multiply by 1.5, will tell you how much flour is needed. Okay, so we plug that equation in. We get F equals 1.5 E. And we got it. All right, Esther the clown does face painting at the city carnival. She paints 7 faces every 21 minutes. Okay, again, we're going to set up a proportion. We have faces and minutes. So it's 7 faces every 21 minutes. How many faces in 1 minute? To write our equation. So we cross multiply, divide. 7 times 1 is 7. Divided by 21 is going to equal 1/3. Now this one we have to leave as a fraction because that's going to give us a repeating decimal. We can't have a repeating decimal. It has to be an exact answer. So we have to leave it as a fraction, and we'll plug it into our equation. Again, the question mark is with F. So that has to be the first letter in our equation. F equals, then our unit rate of 1/3, and then M for minutes. Which means we can plug in any amount of minutes. Could be 2 minutes, could be 10 minutes, could be 1,000 minutes. Multiply by 1/3, that will tell us how many faces that can be painted. So we plug that in. F equals 1/3 M. Right, we have a table here giving us our ordered pairs. We need to write the equation between X and Y. So again, we'll set up a proportion. Our labels this time are just X and y. So I'm going to pick the first one, smallest numbers. It's going to be a little easier. So 2 and 9, question mark in 1. Cross multiply divide. It's going to be 2/9. That's a repeating decimal, 0.2 forever. So we can't use the decimal form. We have to leave it as a fraction. The question mark is with the x, so it's x equals 2/9 y. And that's my equation. Plug that in. X equals 2/9 y.